We're invested in you. From Wall Street to Main Street to your street, America is listening wherever you are on radio and podcasts. Trending stories you need. Streaming the entertainment that celebrates America. Fox News Media, America's News, and much more.
What's up? I'm just waiting for everybody to come in. I know it's early. And typically I'm not on in the morning, but I gotta finish delivering this load and get service on this truck. So
Captain Frederick John Nichol, who spent 4 decades behind the wheel of container ships around the globe. Captain, thank you very much for sharing your expertise.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. All right, we'll take it with you again.
Yep. Well, let's bring in Carrie Kupak-Rabat, Fox News legal editor. She has some information on the federal response and what's playing out at the moment. Carrie, what do you
how you doing, Beefy Line? What's up, kid? How y'all doing? Good morning. What's up, Ryan?
The transportation department. And so lots of moving parts, lots of moving pieces.
Yeah, this is a crazy. I woke up early this morning, saw the headline, then Smokey and the Zello, yeah, posted it. Damn, cargo ship. I guess it was having mechanical problems or something, and it was like smoking. You could see it before it hit. It hit the Key Bridge, and that shit collapsed. What's up, Fast Eddie? Willie, I don't see Willie. Willie in the chat. What's up? Yeah, what's up, Willie? Yeah, right now all we can do is just pray for those being affected by this.
It seems like the Department of Transportation was on it pretty early. Pete Buttigieg in contact with the mayor. We heard the mayor.
And sent text to some of people, some of my friends and family who got people up. We got people up in Baltimore area, and just so far everybody said they're good. Yep, the 695 Key Bridge. It's been a little minute since I've been on. I think the last time I've been on it was December 2022. Oh shoot. Well, it was so long ago I can't even remember if it was the 695 or 895. I think it was on the Key Bridge. No, it's been a while since I've been up there on the bridge. I appreciate that, kid. Thank you. Ironically, I crossed the in the last live I did, I was crossing the damn Ohio River Bridge between Illinois and Kentucky on 24, and it was windy. When them high bridges, you gotta be careful with the wind; it'll blow you off. So I ain't took the chance yesterday. I jumped in the left lane. I was like, yeah, let me get in the left lane because I ain't getting blown off this bridge today. And that barge over there ain't gonna make it me in time to save me. But yeah. When I tell people, new drivers and stuff, about high winds on bridges and stuff, that Key Bridge is actually the main one I was talking about. No, they're saying it at least, Willie. Yeah, at least 7. Preliminary reports, but there's gonna be more. Yeah, at first initial the initial reports like 7 to 20, but yeah, it's gonna be more. It just reminded me because last week about 10 days ago, before I went to Utah, I passed through Minnesota, Minneapolis. That made me thought about that bridge collapse. I was in back in '07. I was in Albany, New York when I heard about that. I don't play around with these bridges. Yep, Fast Eddie. Yep.
terms of traffic, drivers should avoid I-695 southeast corridor and use
Oh
I-80
yeah, Willie. Yeah, they brought that up the Sunshine Skyway.
alternatives. I-695 is being detoured southbound
Um,
exit
well, a
Elizabeth
barge hit it
Expressway and northbound at exit
during like
210.
a heavy thunderstorm, squall line, and fog.
Out of the port of Baltimore
Yeah, I remember reading about that.
but the port is still open for truck transactions. Obviously, we're very thankful for the first
Yeah,
responders
kid, that was like in 1980.
rescues that they're doing this on either night today. And we pray, obviously, for everyone's safe return. We'll continue to provide updates to you. The next one being
I always wanted to cross it, but I never crossed that one. I crossed on one on the Key Largo Bridge down there. Oh, damn, Hensley had a stroke. I hope he's all right. But yeah, 'cause I remember when I was a kid, I remember our stepfather at the time talked about it on a 7 Mile bridge down in Florida. At first, I've been little, I've been scared of bridges, but when you're scared of it, you're also intrigued by it. So I actually wanted to cross it. But I was able to cross it in like 2012, 2013. Yeah, 2013. I remember because I had my student on the truck then. Yeah, that Key Largo bridge. I mean, it was long, but so I think the longest bridge I did a Chesapeake Bay. That's the longest bridge I ever crossed. The Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, and of course the Atchafalaya Basin Bridge. Hmm. Yeah, I hope Hensley all right. I'm memory for about an hour after he collapsed. Damn. I hope he's all right. Oh, talking the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. Yeah. The most pissed off part about it was one of the times I crossed it, I was a company driver then with Western Express, and my Easy Pass didn't work. I had to pay that damn $35 to cross it. Yeah, I remember I crossed it before one night here. It was storming. It looked something straight out of a horror movie. Yeah, I was like, God damn. That Hampton Roads Bridge tunnels. I'm like, the shit, I ain't even supposed to pay it. I was a company driver. I don't know why the Easy Pass didn't work, but I got reimbursed for it. I know, right, Willie? Same similar thing happened to me on the Skyway when I was with Swift in 2010. That Easy Pass always kept going out and registered as stolen in that company truck, and I had to pay to use the Chicago Skyway, but I got reimbursed for it. Oh, so he went live. Um, went live about 3 a.m. About 20 minutes ago, his eyes were all puffy. Set up all the machines they're going to do surgery, but he didn't tell his family yet, so he's deleted the live feed. Yeah, I just hope Hensley all right. And,
They were basically doing some concrete tech repair. We don't have to
yeah, I crossed both Bay Bridge, um, the San Francisco Oakland Bay Bridge, and the Bay Bridge in Maryland. That also crosses the Chesapeake Bay. But I always worried about a damn ship out hitting something the bridge or getting blown off because of high winds. Yeah, just listen to the news for a little bit while I take off.
We actually have set up a facility for it.
Oh, top of the San Francisco Oakland Bridge, Willie. Come on, Willie. Let's behave. This supposed to be a serious feed, Willie. But yeah, the Gay Bridge.
We don't see anything that relates to that at this time. It's an open investigation, but there's nothing that points that in any direction. First call after the incident come in directly from the ship. When the ship hit there, first one It's too early.
And just for clarification,
I'm
Lance,
sorry.
one last question, please.
I'll be nice today, Will. Be nice today.
Okay. And we'll be back surely about 9:30.
Well,
I'm sorry.
here it is, San Francisco. I was in San Francisco last summer. I was mad. I didn't know park around there. No, I couldn't find no truck parking, no hotel. I had to park at the customer.
Thank you so much.
And he was like, I can only park there. The good thing it wasn't too hot out there.
Officials
But
I just
it
can't
was
get
like
rid of
he was
that.
like I couldn't even run the APU because the customer because the residents was complaining. I like all these goofy liberals. It's fine for shit to be in the street, drugs be in the street, but oh my God, forbid a APU running to keep a truck driver comfortable. But it wasn't too bad though. I ended up having to go down down there South stuff. Willie, I can't see the lights on I'm on StreamYard, Willie. I can't see the lights. Y'all have to tell me when y'all hit the light. Matter of fact, even better, that makes it better. Y'all got to tell me y'all hit the light. Because I'm on StreamYard. I can't see the light. I can only see the views.
Coast Guard boats out there that are helping assist in the search and rescue. That doesn't include what the state and the city is providing on scene. They're saying that there's no foul play expected right now.
Okay. I done hit the horn once, 2, 3.
And they say the state is leading this investigation.
Now let me get out here before I get cussed out.
New pieces of information we learned.
The driver's still
Local
sleeping.
officials earlier.
Because y'all know I'm usually not up in the morning.
7 are missing.
Hey, thank you, Kia.
Count could go as high as 20 we heard earlier in the morning. But what we learned out of this press conference is, number one, there were in fact state contractors on the bridge. They were working for the state on concrete duct repair. So kind of a worst nightmare case scenario that those workers were there. And second, we were wondering about the crew. We thought they were still on the ship, and he said, to quote him directly, that's being done right now, the crew evacuation. So 2 new pieces of information. And finally, both he and the Coast Guard underscoring this is still an active search and rescue mission. So we are not past the point of survivability. That's when the divers would tell us, we will call this off. We are still in a search and rescue.
And it was reconfirmed the pilots were in charge, not the captain. So when it comes into port, the pilots take over. They have the most experience.
Man, Ghostface will have to tax them, Will.
Back in Navy trained Navy diver Jake Zweig. Jake, thanks for joining us again. We understand the Coast Guard has 3 small boats and 1 Coast Guard cutter there. They're doing the search and rescue. What do you think about the type of resources that they put in play?
I'll drop the links in a little bit.
They got in the area in the water. They've probably got. They've got as many resources as they need on station.
Yes, sir, Will.
Whether or not anybody's able to survive for 5 hours underwater.
I got the because I'm applying for monetization. I have to change the music on those drops, so I won't get hit with them damn copyright claims. I appreciate it, Willie. I'll catch you later, bro.
You know, Jake, with these,
But yeah, I'm gonna have to change the music on those drops on some of them.
Much know what they're working with right now, right? These drones.
I think there's probably a lot of ambiguity around the situation. I said it before. There's a lot of dangerous conditions right now. You have a bridge that's collapsed into the water. You have containers in the water. You have a shifting tide current that's now coming in at peak flow. So there's just a lot of factors involved right now. The UAVs are helpful.
I appreciate it, Kia. Catch you later, bro.
That still requires the person to be alive under the water in the car. I just think it's unlikely at this point that we're going to be pulling live people out of the water.
Right. And we have heard that, according to the experts, apparently sonar detected vehicles. Would the sonar, Jake, also be able to hear somebody if they were banging on the car, on the window or something like that?
I would say in this situation, there's probably a lot of other ambient noise in the area. The ship is right there still running. I think it'd be very hard for them to hear someone banging on a car underwater with the sonar. The sonar, side scan sonar, is looking more so for objects. I don't have enough information to be able to give you a good job on that one.
We heard from the Maryland Department of Transportation just now. He was asked twice, was there a power outage on the ship? To which he responded, it is too early in the investigation. But he simultaneously ruled out that this was any sort of foul play. So what we are left with thinking is, weather wasn't at play, near 10-mile visibility, your mind goes to mechanical. You said to us at 6:15 a.m. this morning that you did not see a tugboat here. A tugboat would guide the ship through there. Since we spoke, we've spoken with two others, Clyde Boatwright with the Fraternal State Police, and also Frederick John Nicole. He was a captain, both of which echoed you. They said there should have been a tugboat here. You need tugboats to navigate through this narrow terrain. Now looking at this footage in the daylight, do you see a tugboat?
No, I don't see a tugboat there. It didn't appear to be a tugboat earlier on either. The tugboats normally cut away at this point. It's cost factor. It costs money to have a tugboat go all the way out through the bridge, and these don't happen very often. I think the biggest key point of failure is going to be the maintenance logs on the ship. Apparently, it lost power before. The carrier out of Singapore is going to be responsible for everything, so they're going to do a massive NTB investigation, and they'll figure out, what was at the cause of the problem.
Jake, to that point of the investigation, do you anticipate state or federal officials have already made their way onto the boat to kind of freeze this crime scene?
It happened at 1:30 in the morning. My guess is all those guys are getting up, getting a call, telling them to head that way, and there'll be more of that ship here shortly.
Jake, as a Navy diver yourself, at what point do they put people in the water? Because as you said, it's a dynamic situation. There are cars under there. There is at least one tractor trailer, and there's a bridge down there too. You got to worry not only about rescuing the people, but the safety of any divers who are going to go in the water.
The Coast Guard is there, right? You have to go out, but you don't have to come back. So the Swiftwater rescue teams, I saw some Swiftwater rescue boats there. Those guys were in the water as soon as they could get in the water.
I know, right, Fast Eddie?
About their safety or
when I was looking at the stream of the Baltimore Harbor, people was talking about that.
Survive this catastrophic event in Baltimore. I know we got the best people in the world down there.
It was rush hour when and the Twins were playing when that Minneapolis bridge collapsed.
Feel free to say I don't know, but there are some reports that
they decided not to postpone the game because they didn't want to have more people leaving the stadium coming out there.
Is that the case? Does that sound right?
I did see the black smoke. That very well could have been the case that they slammed it into full reverse. But I'm just telling you, a ship of that size probably takes 1.5 miles to slow down and actually get moving the other direction. So all of those efforts would be futile if they only had 2 minutes to make. But it does show you they tried to adjust. They tried to adjust, right? That would have power.
Jake, I think, for a lot of people watching, they may just assume, if you're on a plane, if you're on a ship, so much of this in this day and age in the 21st century is mechanical, right? But we've been told by two of our experts.
And the thing I said, I'd rather be on a ship than on a boat. Yeah, matter of fact, when we come back in 05,
this is capacity for human error from someone.
Some of our troops were able to get on the ship with our equipment to come back, and I would try to volunteer to do that instead of getting on a plane.
Something failed on this ship that caused it to lose power. They're not running on autopilot ever in this situation. That's why there's 2 world-class pilots on the ship that are very versed in Baltimore Harbor. That's the only harbor they work in, and they know everything. They were guiding the ship. There was a helmsman, engineman, the captain of the ship, and 2 pilots. This wasn't the case where they fell asleep and it just crashed into the bridge.
Right. As we look at the cargo ship,
I think it was mechanical,
with part of the bridge still on top of it. Could it also be, given the fact that it takes 1 mile to slow it down, as you said, is there a possibility that that ship is overloaded? It just weighs too much as well?
So I listened to the captain that you guys had on earlier, and he said that ships leaving port were light, meaning that most of their cargo had been unloaded in Baltimore Harbor, and they were leaving light. I don't think light or heavy really had that much to do here. It was just a straight They lost the ability to control the ship. The ship went out of control. The ship hit the bridge. Now we have a catastrophic problem in Baltimore.
You know, Jake, you've been consistent since you were with us at the top of the program that you felt like this was more of a recovery mission. Why do you say that? What conditions that you see from your experience point to that?
So water is one of those environments that people don't live long in. And you can go a long time without food, but you can't go a long time without air. And we're well pulling their breath for 5 hours underwater. Trap water. They're going to lose the water, the air. I'm sorry, cars don't trap air. I just think that right now, the 2 survivors they found, one was incredibly injured. So they were able to find them early on, and he's still in massive trouble in the hospital, and one was uninjured. My guess is those will be the 2 survivors, and you know, hopefully we get limited number of people. We're talking about, I heard 7. I find that hard to believe that there are 7 people on the bridge, and there was a construction crew on the bridge, but you know, maybe we'll get lucky and it'll be a limited number of bad days for families today.
I mean, if you got to crash into it, the time to do it, you would think is 1:30 in the morning. It's probably the least traffic time. Imagine if this happened during rush hour.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been a lot worse.
Jake, when you look at this video, and I realize Maryland Department of Transportation Secretary said you cannot confirm a power outage, but to the naked eye, it looks like power seems to go in and out. What do you see as someone who's a Navy SEAL and an expert in this matter?
As a former ship driver, anytime you see that ship go black, they had a problem. Yeah. And then all the lights come back on right before it hits the pier. You know, you see the smoke coming out of the smokestack. They got it slammed in reverse. The ship is turning. It's just too big. It's too massive. I liken it to if you're in your car and you get a flat tire and you only have 2 seconds to react, you're not going to be able to do too much. So a ship of
Deer tire blowing out on a truck.
The ship, and we heard that it went dark 2 minutes before the ship hit the bridge. But then like 10 seconds before it actually hits that particular support column, the lights flicker on in different parts of the ship, and then they go out again. So maybe they were working like crazy to regain power. They got it. Next thing you know, it's just too late to turn.
It takes probably 5 miles to turn that ship around. Wow. So think about that. They had 150 yards of their side of the channel to hit that bridge. And I'm telling you, it takes 5 miles to turn that ship around. They had no chance.
Jake, thanks so much. We'll check in with you again. Appreciate it. Let's try to gather more facts. And to do that, let's go on the ground to Griff Jenkins. He's live at the scene. Griff, big disruption for commuters this morning. They're getting up and wondering, first off, the welfare of everyone on the bridge. And number 2 is, how do I get to work? How do I get home? How do I get to school?
That's right, Brian. It is a major thing, and you turn on the local news radio, and you certainly hear them trying to navigate people to how they can get to and from work. Now, the transportation authorities I just spoke with here before coming on,
I have to go 695 the other way in.
Major thoroughfares to cross
the west of 695 is a big.
And obviously, this one now collapsed, so they're trying to reroute traffic.
Run up 95, 695 to 83. That got on my nerves.
But this is one of the
I can only imagine it's going to be a clusterfuck today.
You have not only local traffic, but you have 18-wheelers moving cargo north and south. And so clearly,
it's a hazmat truck.
But they do have
they can't take 95.
Now at this third one,
they're going to have to do
but let me just give you a quick look from our perspective.
Hazmat trucks can't take
just about 895
either.
The Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed. You can see the mangled top of it. What normally would be the bridge in the distance is now just a fallen piece there. The Maryland Transportation Secretary Paul Whittenfeld holding that press conference, asked him a couple of questions. First and foremost, was he ruling out any possibility of intentional cause or motive or nefarious activity. He said at this point they've not seen anything to that effect, but the investigation is underway. And also, he told me off camera that the investigation is going to take quite a bit of time. This isn't something they've ever seen before, and they're really for a lack of answers on how this could have happened as we all sort of take it in. Now, I asked him how deep the water was. I'm curious how deep this Patapsco River is, where the Chesapeake Bay meets, and he said about 50 feet, and obviously it's in conditions as frigid water just under 50 degrees, making the life-saving part of this very difficult, considering it's been more than 5 hours now since this has happened. But one thing you're going to hear a lot about is why that ship wasn't being guided and how that ship was able to strike such a significant part of this bridge to bring such a large span down. I do know, in talking off camera a little earlier when we first got on scene, some of the Maryland Transportation Authority employees were set to get off work, working the overnight late shift. They told me that there's a routine construction effort almost every night. They're out there. Paul Whitfield, the secretary, is saying that they were doing concrete repair at the time, and that the numbers may fluctuate, but there may be as many as 7 that are unaccounted for, and of course the 2 that came out. But right now, they're dealing with obviously the local impact of just the roads and in getting across the harbor into Baltimore, but also the shipping lanes now, because Baltimore, with billions of dollars of shipping and commerce here, the nation's largest port in many respects, now at a standstill as they try and get answers to how this could have happened. Brian?
And there we've got our chopper zooming out to see the river and the port of Baltimore. Griff, one detail you were just talking about, how the fire chief during the press conference about a half an hour ago detailed that 2 people were actually fished out of the water. One person seriously injured, the other person declined treatment. Do we have any idea where those 2 people were on the bridge? Were they some of the people who were pouring the concrete? Were they in cars? Do we have any of those details about where they rode the bridge down?
We don't have those details, Steve. And here at the press conference just moments ago, they're talking about the family reunification, because there's a large number of folks that work here and are on the bridge and work for Maryland's transportation. It happened overnight. People are waking up going, oh my goodness, did my family or friend possibly were they involved in this? So we don't have the details of that right now. And I know that the officials here are working to try to connect those that have any direct connection to this, trying to connect the family members to answer their questions. One thing that we hope to hear a little bit later, perhaps in this location, will be from Governor Wes Moore. We had thought perhaps he might be here. He wasn't here yet. We are told there's a chance he may show up, but we're going to be getting regular details. I asked, by the way, whether or not we might be able to get the communication with this ship in Baltimore Harbor about, what was the conversations happening just prior to this incident happening. And they're saying, unfortunately, with this investigation so fresh, it's just not clear if or when we might get some of those details as well.
Griff, there are obviously reporters who want answers, and it's your job to ask questions, and officials are doing all they can to give you all the details they know. There's another 9:30 a.m. update where we hope to learn more, but the reporters were asking repeatedly, was there an engine failure? Was there a power outage? At what time, from your experience covering so many of these events, should we
You've now got, again, at this press conference, we had the Maryland Transportation Secretary, Paul Whitfield, and then we had the incident commander locally for this region of the National Coast Guard. Obviously, the Coast Guard.
What's going on, Craig? How you doing, bro?
With 3 boats and 1 cutter in the water and a chopper flying above us right now. And so it's that convergence where you have the federal investigation meeting the local investigation. They have to sort that out. That always leads to delays in the information to the media. We see it in criminal cases, and you certainly see it in this situation because there are international.
You're welcome, bro.
The world is watching.
Glad everything's going good.
International shipping implications about this, and you're going to probably have to wait quite some time before we get the fullest picture of what has happened. But obviously, this is going to be quite a two-part thing. One is the
That's true, Kevin. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on it, but yeah, nice, beautiful bridge in the view.
So unprecedented, and what impact it's going to lead to. You got to figure they've already had some pilots say what happened, and they've told them it's going to be a while until we hear it. Griff, great reporting there at the bridge collapse at the river. Go gather some more information. We'll be back with you in about 15 minutes.
We're having to balance, to Griff's point. Balance is all. Obviously, the main concern is recovering those that we hope that are still alive. But then you got the Americans that are trying to get to work this morning. It's ends meet. People are already living paycheck to paycheck. $80 billion last year.
Cars into the port, cross it all the time.
2 million tons of cargo, and then $80 billion in revenue. So we're praying for the folks there. We're praying that people get to work safely. Right. It's a balance in that.
As Griff said, there are two other ways to get across. The two tunnels are very busy. Well, on a normal day, they're very busy. Today, they are super busy. Yeah, 31,000 cars were going over that bridge. So that's pretty crazy. Now they got to suddenly take a major detour for the foreseeable future.
And a lot of federal questions here. We have Mark Meredith at the White House, but I mean, questions about infrastructure that I'm sure the White House is thinking about now, how this bridge collapsed, obviously collided with the ship. But also, this is a major American port. The world sends cargo through this. So let's check in with Mark Meredith and look at how the White House is responding and taking this all in, Mark.
Kaylee,
yeah, this is going to be a cluster.
It is closely monitoring the developments in Baltimore. We know that White House officials have been in touch with the governor of Maryland, Wes Moore, and as Griff was mentioning, it's possible we could hear from the governor a little bit later on this morning. We've also heard from Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who heads up the Department of Transportation. He too saying that he's been in contact with the governor and that they're monitoring these developments out of Baltimore. Also, the headline from the White House this hour that there's no indication to believe that there was anything nefarious going on with this accident, but of course the investigation by the NTSB just getting underway. We have yet to hear from President Biden himself. He's going to be heading up to Raleigh, North Carolina today, along with the Vice President for some campaign events. It's possible he could say something as he heads out of town, but the White House saying it is closely monitoring what is happening on the ground. We've also heard from a number of Maryland officials and those still hoping to become Maryland officials, including the former governor of the state, Larry Hogan, the Republican candidate for Senate. He put out a statement just a few minutes ago saying he was heartbroken over this. We've also heard from Maryland Senator Ben Cardin saying it was a horrific accident, urging people to think about their commute around the area because, of course, as Brian was just mentioning, so many people rely on that bridge to get to and from the Baltimore area. So we're looking to see what kind of federal resources, in addition to the FBI that we know have already been out there, that will be offered. But Kayla, to your point, yes, there is going to be an infrastructure question going forward. What can be done to prevent accidents like this from happening in the future, and whether or not we're going to see a huge economic impact to the Baltimore, Washington region because of this is yet to be seen, but some of the officials here will be looking at. Guys, back to you. And Mark, you just called it an accident. That would, if we presume that to be true, we have no information that it wouldn't be anything but. That means the NTSB would take
I appreciate it, Kevin.
Right? That's correct. And the White House is saying that they have no reason to believe there was any nefarious intent. So the operating assumption that they're going on is that it was an accident or something that was not necessarily meant to happen. But whether or not that is still the case, as we've heard from these numerous press conferences this morning, simply too soon to tell. But you would also imagine that the federal resources out there, we know the FBI has been there. I think that came up in the 615 presser. And they asked, well, why would the FBI be involved? And they simply said, well, when you have something like this, that would
y'all hit that like button. Let me know you hit it. I'm on StreamYard, so I can't see the likes. So hit that like button. Let me know.
Let you know again if the president has anything directly to say about this, whether it be online or as he heads out of town this afternoon. Another test for Pete Buttigieg between the supply chain, the pilot problem. Is he gonna?
What's up, 2-4? About I think like about 1 something in the morning, a
A cargo ship collided with the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, the 695 bridge, and it partially collapsed. They say partially, but it looked like, well, it's a mile and a half long, so it collapsed, and recovery efforts on the way. 1:30 a.m. Okay. Yeah, 2-4 is bad. Appreciate the like. Yeah, they're thinking that ship had mechanical issues because you could see when you look at the video of it, you could see smoke, a whole bunch of black smoke. Somebody in the comment section said it will smoke out if you put a ship in reverse, a ship like that in reverse. But people were also saying it lost power and then it regained power like right before it hit it. And there was no basically no time for them to be able to turn it around because they say it takes like 5 miles to turn it around. It's a big ass cargo ship. They rescued 2 people so far, one in critical condition, one unharmed, and declined treatment. As of now, there are like 7 construction workers on the bridge. So as of now, at least 7 to 20 people overall missing. That's preliminary. You know it'll definitely change. But thank God it wasn't during rush hour. I hate to say it, but y'all know that's gonna be the conspiracy theory, right? For a reason why they'll make about damn near every bridge an easy pass. Just like when that time, Memphis with that driver got killed on the side of 269, I think. And they caught the person because the driver had an in-cam dash cam in the truck, and I remember people was like, it was a conspiracy theory that's gonna force every company to put it, that's gonna mandate in-cam dash cameras for every trucker out here, facing.
Technology inside of this vessel that failed, the power that failed inside of it. And it sounds, I think Brian asked the question today, whether or not the ships have black boxes. That they do. They do. They have black boxes, and even if it went down, if the ship were to have sunk, that is recoverable, and that information tells not only what was happening at that very moment, but what systems were operating on the ship and may not have been operating at that time. Also, like 360, when you get an impact, if you're following a member of your family, there's an impact, you'll get an alert. So if you're wondering if your family member is there, if you're like 360 to go off, most likely they got through. Yeah, and I wonder if that would get there in time. We look at apps and we see a bunch. You're wondering, where are the top vessels? Well, if you look up into Baltimore Harbor, technology can tell us right now as of 2 minutes ago, the vessel was powered and then just went to a stop position, and we have 3 tugs just inside on the other side of the shop. So we're staying on top of this. Very thank labs and active search and rescue happening right now.
Need a dose of sunshine? Or a serotonin boost? Happy Radio is one of many happy extra channels available on the all-new SiriusXM app. Search Happy Radio to start listening to endless feel-good hits. It's possible to go from struggle to cholesterol success with prescription Leqvio and glycerin, given by a doctor for people who, along with diet and a statin, need help lowering their bad cholesterol, LDL-C.
Common side effects were injection site reaction, joint pain, and chest cold. Results may vary. Visit Leqvio.com or call 1-833-537-8462. Ask your doctor about Leqvio. Discover Wind River, Tennessee's exclusive lakefront community. Indulge in a tax-friendly haven with no state income tax, nestled amidst four-season splendor. Our gated community is minutes from shopping and the airport, offering championship golf, a premier marina, and world-class clubhouse. Seize the opportunity for refined living at windriverliving.com. Your luxury escape awaits, close to everything, yet away from it all. Visit windriverliving.com today.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
If your goals this year include getting healthier, you should start by taking a closer look at your water. You'd be surprised to find out how many impurities are in tap water. Everything from viruses to lead, PFAS, pesticides, and other contaminants. No one wants that. What you do want is healthy drinking water, and it starts with Aquasana. Aquasana water filters remove contaminants and leave you with cleaner, healthier, odor-free, great-tasting water. You'll enjoy an immediate difference with every drop. With everything from whole house systems to under-sink units, Aquasana's high-performance water filtration systems are low maintenance and eco-friendly. Aquasana has more than 15,000 five-star reviews from customers like you who want to drink with confidence. Visit Aquasana.com today and use promo code SXM to get up to 50% off select systems. That's AQUASANA.com. Promo code SXM for up to 50% off. Aquasana, a healthier you starts with healthier water.
Trucking fleet owners, take your business to the next level this year with a more reliable truck. Schneider has hundreds of used trucks and trailers already in stock, with more being added every day. Take advantage of discounted and transparent pricing on the trucks you trust from Freightliner, International, Canada, and Volvo. Get peace of mind with OEM and aftermarket warranties, financing options, and detailed preventative maintenance plans. Find the best deals when you buy direct from Schneider today. Visit SchneiderTrucks.com.
They don't even have T680s no more. Sonata Finance and all that.
My name is Todd Randy with Wealth Builders Institute, and I want to give you my free options trading package showing how my TSL method has minted 5 new verified millionaires already this year. That's right. 5 of my students already made over $1 million this year, and hundreds have made thousands of dollars. I've been using the TSL method for 25 years to make a full-time income, living in countries across the world, and enjoying lifestyle freedom. So if you failed with other trading systems, it's probably because they're just too complicated. The TSL method is as simple as 1, 2, 3. One strategy for 2 hours a day, trading just 3 stocks. It works so well because we ride the coattails of big money on Wall Street. Our software spots these big money reversals, and 75% of the time, the market changes direction, allowing us to profit. So call 800-881-5252 now to talk to a specialist and get your free copy of the book, Get Paid, Learn to Trade. And I'll include the $500 video training course for free. No credit card required. Call 800-881-5252. 800-881-5252. 800-881-5252.
You're listening to Fox News Channel on Sirius XM Channel 114.
Fox News alerts for anyone just now joining us at 8 a.m. President Biden has been briefed on this tragic bridge collapse that you're looking at. It was the Francis Scott Key Bridge outside of Baltimore, major port. We're expecting an update in about an hour and a half.
Most of the span collapsed this morning right after a cargo ship crashed into it. So state officials are ruling out any foul play as first responders search for as many as 7 people in the water.
Kurt Jenkins joins us live from the scene. And Griff, we were just talking to Kurt, the cyber guy, about the fact that that bridge, which is now at the bottom of the river, is an easy pass bridge. So they should have any car that went up, particularly one direction, they would know exactly who was on the bridge at the time of the collapse. And they've got cameras everywhere too. They undoubtedly at this hour are looking up plate numbers.
Well, that's for sure, Steve. And just for our viewers picking up on this, we're now over 6 hours into this. And there have been two press conferences, one held by the Baltimore city officials, and then, of course, the one here. We're just about 1,000 feet north of the collapsed bridge. You can see behind us, we have another camera, a bump shot there, if you will. You can see a little bit more of just the damage there. And it is a very camera, easy pass covered area because this is one of the major passages of the Northeast Corridor for traffic. Now, the traffic locally is being redirected. There's three ways to pass through Baltimore and through the harbor. This is one of the three. Obviously, it is shut down. They've been busy this morning redirecting it, but it's all hands on deck on that search and rescue, to your point, Steve, to find out who may have been on that bridge and what vehicles could possibly be.
That looked like a wolf on the side of the road. Dead wolf.
The water, believed to be just under 50 degrees temperature, with the current in the Patapsco River that's flowing from the Chesapeake Bay into the harbor. We learned from the press conference here, the Maryland Transportation Secretary, Paul Wiedefeld, saying that until further notice right now, all vessels have been halted in and out of the harbor. Here's a little bit more of what the Transportation Secretary said a little earlier. Take a listen here.
Obviously, we're very thankful for the first responders who carried out the efforts in these rescues. They're doing this often like today.
And those first responders in this search and rescue mission right now is a combined effort of both the local fire departments and of course, the Baltimore officials, as well as the Coast Guard, with 3 boats in the water, 1 cutter, as well as you may be able to hear a helicopter above us trying to find anyone they can. 2 individuals have been pulled from the water so far. 1 was not injured, the other critical, taken to the hospital. There may be as many as 7 unaccounted for, but it's not just the traffic of those that came onto the bridge. It's also what appears to be the Maryland Transportation workers. There were construction workers on the bridge doing routine maintenance, doing concrete repair. We learned from the Transportation Secretary. Now, at that earlier press conference that involved the mayor of Baltimore, Brandon Scott, here is a little bit more of what he said earlier. Take a listen to this.
I want you to think that you can see, physically see the key bridge tumble down like that. It looked like something out of an action. And just think about Ocean Port, which is what we all should be thinking about right now. Nothing but those families and people that are impacted, and those people who are risking their lives right now, from not just Baltimore City, Baltimore County, but all over the state to try to save lives. That should be our focus, the preservation of life.
And of course, out of both press conferences, no answers about how this possibly could have happened. I asked the Transportation Secretary, if there's anything like this remotely close to it has happened, he said, not in Baltimore. We're waiting for an update for another press conference in the coming hours here, as well as we may ultimately hear from Governor Wes Moore of Maryland. But right now, it's all hands on deck search and rescue mission, and the officials here also trying to do a failure reunification effort to try and connect people that are believed to be related to those that may be in the middle of this tragic turn of events that happened around 1:30 this morning. Guys,
we have a live shot. It looks like that it's on the boat. It's closer to the boat on the water right now. I'm just curious. Steve pointed to this earlier in the show where you saw the cones on the bridge where those construction workers were underriggers on the ramps doing some work up there. Has there been any statement, cones right there, any statement from their union or anything about those construction workers?
No, we haven't heard from them, and the effort here was a joint press conference, Lawrence, between the Coast Guard, obviously federal assets, and of course the state Maryland officials and the Transportation Secretary. But in terms of the workers, construction workers, which likely would have been adjacent to the Transportation Maryland State and City Authority, which is really the buildings here behind me at the north end of this this bridge, they would have been the ones involved in it, and we haven't gotten any word on that, although we've seen quite a few emergency vehicles going down this end of the bridge as we continue to watch it here. Really, I think what's going to be very interesting, and I asked the officials here if we might begin to learn or even release communications between this ship and the harbor authorities. That's going to tell us a lot. But as we learned from the Transportation Secretary, it's early in the investigation, so we just don't know those details just yet.
President Jacobs, thank you. Let's bring in Maryland State Senator Johnny Salling. As the bridge collapsed, he's directly impacted. This is his district. He also works as a steel worker in the area for nearly 3 decades. You know, Johnny, as we're looking at this live pictures of this horrific crash in our community, it seems that everyone's coming together. You heard from Pete Buttigieg this morning, we're told by the mayor. Governor Glenn Youngkin just out with a statement that he has spoken. Governor Westmoreland this morning. Virginia stands ready to assist and support our neighbor. How are you doing there? I imagine this is a nightmare for you to wake up to.
This is devastating to let alone not just Maryland, but of course, as you stated, my district of Baltimore County. We depend on the port of Baltimore that's in the central part of the east coast of this country, of our area, and it's very dependent upon the transportation.
Yeah, too far.
Truck, rail,
yeah, it's crazy.
Come in here constantly, and now the Mexican River, as you see, is an asset to us, and losing this bridge is going to be devastating.
God bless them all.
Not just the port, but
Amen.
the Delmarva area.
Do you know close calls that have happened before? Is there something in the community where people thought to themselves, you know, we got to adjust this? Or is this really an anomaly?
This is something that you would say, you would think would never happen. We had we have one of the most massive ships that ever went through there, and they were well prepared for this. And knowing that this happened 1:30 in the morning, and just to let you know, I've been briefed by a part of the governor's staff, the president of the Senate, who has called me. I talked to it's a brand new, by the way, a brand new director that came from Miami. He's a new director at the Port of Baltimore now. And I had the opportunity to speak with him. But it's going to change the whole area of Baltimore as we speak, let alone the routes that now people have to go to and from the Port of Baltimore, and also Trade Point Atlantic, which is the Lefton steel plant that I worked 26 years.
Yeah, Johnny, to your point, the Port of Baltimore, large. Also a lot of stuff like coal and petroleum products as well. So obviously there are going to be some supply chain problems, but you know that is the least of our worries today. We've got to worry about finding the people who were on that bridge. You know that bridge has stood there, Johnny, for close to 50 years. It is as iconic an image as you will find in the Baltimore Harbor area. When you see how that thing just folded like a deck of cards,
I couldn't believe it. Saw the video. I couldn't believe it.
How solid this thing is, because it looked pretty fragile when it went down.
It did. It did. When that hit that support, that station there, which was one of the main supports to that bridge, only one thing was going to happen. It was going to collapse. How can we prepare for this in the future now, as I think we need to look at? Working with our federal, our state, and our local partners, we have to work together now, because this is a catastrophic event that has happened. So we need to work together to find a solution to work this out. We're happy that we have Trade Point Atlantic as a partner that's just before the bridge itself. And we're hopefully working with them to get a deep port there, because this is a deep port. And a lot of people don't understand about a deep port. We have 50 feet depth. A lot of places don't have that. So we have more opportunity to bring in more in and bring it out. And now we're losing this at the Port of Baltimore. So now we have a partner at the old Lefton steel plant, Trade Point Atlantic, that we have good people that they work together. And we need to do that now, because we're at a point of a catastrophic event that has happened. And now we need to move forward work together for the better work.
Yes, Senator. You know, you're a senator by day, but your actual profession is a steel worker. What does this mean for the industry there?
Just to let you know, worked at Bethlehem Steel for 26 years. Worked for the railroad themselves, that was the old Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. But worked for a company called Lafarge Wholesale for 25 years, right along with the people on elk furnace for Bethlehem Steel workers. Being in the union for 25 years and knowing what they did throughout America that made the steel there.
Oh no. Are you for real, Larry?
Now we need to find out can we get this steel to repair or replace this iconic bridge.
Oh man, if that's true, rest in peace to him, man. Praise the comfort God to his loved ones. If that's true, rest in peace. Nesbitt just texted you? Okay. Man, excuse me, rest in peace and praise to his loved ones.
What do you think when you hear state contract workers, construction workers, were there as we just watched that collapse?
It breaks my heart. I think about those that were affected and that will be affected by this. I make me think about the vehicles that were going across there, the people that depend on it. And you think about the fakeness right now. My heart and my prayers go out to these families. And I pray that I mean, there were 2 people that were rescued, but there are many people that are not answered for right now. So my heart's with them and their families. I pray that everybody prays for them.
Yeah, today is going to be a sad, sad day.
It's going to be, I'm sure, investigated for a long period of time. But I think you said it right. I think more importantly, let's find a way and find a solution where we can make sure that this never happens again.
State Senator John Salley, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Let's find out more about the structure of the bridge by talking to John Pestorino. John, you're a structural engineer. Were you surprised from somebody with your background that hit by the barge into one beam would take it down?
Yes, well, depending upon the span, this reminds me of the Sunshine State Bridge, which I was involved in. But when it says one beam, it doesn't really describe whether it's a beam or a column and the type of beam that it is. But yeah, one beam like that, a critical spot, could be without a double safety standard or redundancy, I should say. But I mean, at this point, I'm surprised that a container point so large would be able to even the golf course back over in Tampa. You know, we do have some needs underwater now, so that the ship does get out of its own direction, that it can be diverted, that it will divert it away from the critical parts of the bridge. There's underwater structures that the ship would come across before it actually got to the bridge itself, the critical part of the bridge. So that's something to think of.
John, so the container ship hits that support column, and it was catastrophic. You know, and if we could put the video up of the moment of impact, I'm just surprised that the bridge fell apart at the other support column. It just kind of snapped. You know, it just snapped off.
I think the average person looking at this, they always figure, okay, this bridge is so super duper safe. Nothing like that would ever happen. But as we look at this right here, there are going to be a million people who think about this 100 times today when they drive over a big bridge.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, the structure itself tries to redistribute the load. So if you lose the critical part of one column, for instance, the structure itself tries to redistribute the load and then goes to the other column, which is apparently then overloaded that column. That's the nature of the structure.
Right. But John, we're about to see that happen.
Right, give my ignorance, but why do we design it that way? Why not give a bridge more support? That way, if a beam is hit, that you have some type of backup.
Well, redundancy is what you're talking about, and that was really one of the problems, the big complaints about even the FIU bridge collapse over in Miami at the Vanessa. It was just a smaller bridge, but 6 people were killed there, and there was no redundancy on the design of the bridge. First,
is it a money thing, John? Is it a money thing?
Redundancy.
No, but the reason that they don't do it, yeah.
It could be a money thing, but I think really the design of the redundancy would be something that always should be considered.
Now, John, you referred to the Sunshine Skyway Bridge collapse back in 1980, and I'm curious. So, in that incident, you had a freighter, very analogous to this situation, hit a support beam. 35 people lost their life, and there was a big conversation after. How do we fix this? I'm from the local community. It's a tragedy that's weighed on us for decades, really. They raised the height of the bridge, but you just mentioned something I hadn't heard about. Underwater structures that could divert ships away from the bridge. Tell me more about that.
Well, that was one of the concerns. I was involved in the repair of the bridge, of the replacement of the new bridge, and that was one of the main considerations. That even though the bridge can only span so far, and so therefore you have underwater structures that take a ship that is out of control for one reason or another, wind or maybe the ship itself loses its steerage, that before it ever gets to the bridge, it's like a diverter, like a railing that would divert the ship to more towards the center of the bridge or away from the critical support.
And we have images just for our viewers of Tampa Bay, Florida, and that was 1980, and you can see and compare the two crashes there.
Right. John, when you do, as a structural engineer, when you do all the calculations as you design a bridge, you got to take into considerations, worst case scenario. Is this something that ultimately they do, in the back of their head, they think, okay, let's just say there's an out of control container ship. What's going to happen?
Yeah, well, that's what I'd say, that there normally would be some kind of diversion type of structure that would keep it away from the critical parts of the bridge, especially the column. So I don't know exactly what happened here or why that would be the case. But it's a suspension bridge that can eliminate columns for the most part. But on the other hand, the columns themselves should be on something that actually a ship cannot get to, essentially.
Yeah. All right, John, thanks so much for joining the program. A lot of insights are knowledge there. Yeah, I think we got to obviously talk about the search and rescue, figure out exactly what happened, but also, to his point of the structural aspect, figure out what we can do if a ship does hit one of them.
How do you prevent it?
How do we prevent it?
I mean, you think about commercial jetliners, and thank God we haven't had one crash in so long, but I mean, this is really, the last precedent is 40 years ago, so how do we make sure this never happens?
But part of the reason you have pilots to bring the ships in is because captains step aside. We've been doing this. You train them for years, and then you have them take over so this doesn't happen.
But to John's point about an out-of-control container ship, this was designed over 50 years ago. And so that accident you're talking about is 40 years ago, and probably
all the bridges since then have taken into account that as well. This is older than that. Grandfathered in.
Yes.
Let's bring in Madam Rivera. She joins us with more details on the bridge and how big it is on the global impact. Maddie, what can you tell us?
Hey guys, yeah, this will have a major impact in the region. So of course, the main concern right now is trying to find that at least 7 people who are missing right now. But as you guys have been mentioning all morning, this is a main thoroughfare in and out of Baltimore, right? About 11 million vehicles went over this bridge last year. So essentially what you have here is a major transportation artery in the region now gone. But let's broaden it out a little bit to talk about what this impact could have, or rather what this incident, this accident, this collision could have on the global economy. I understand it is still early, so we'll see how this unfolds over the next days, weeks, potentially even months. But this is a major port. This is the 9th largest port in the country for international cargo. And just some quick stats here. This port carries 53 million tons of cargo, some of this valued at roughly $80 billion. And when you think about the products that may be affected here, some of the top export commodities by weight, and these are stats, by the way, from the state. In 2022, they were coal, liquefied natural gas, waste paper. The top imports were automobiles, light trucks, salt, paper, paperboard, gypsum. And if you think about it as well, it's not just commodities that go through this. This is also a major lane for cruise ships. So those ships include those operated by the Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and Norwegian. And according to this one stat, more than 400,000 passengers left from the port last year. So this incident, this accident could have so many ripple effects throughout the country and throughout the world as well. Of course, I think logistically, one of the big questions here is how long it takes for pieces of this bridge to be cleaned up and recovered from the river. As we heard Griff mention this morning, as of now, there are no vessels coming in and out of the harbor. So a lot of things we're watching here, you guys.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You know, diverting to Philadelphia, New Jersey, and
Restrictions are in
Virginia.
place around the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse so as to not interfere.
Right here, we've got some helicopters in the sky. They're trying to keep people out there. And the FAA people, don't bring your drone and expect to fly over that.
I know, right?
Meanwhile, we're staying on top of the bridge collapse, and active search and rescue is happening right now, so don't move.
I'm Cheryl Crow. I grew up at a time when, if you were a woman, you were a good musician for a woman.
Sirius XM's Women of Rock,
I always found that to be really insulting.
a channel of icons who broke barriers.
When I was on heart, I was just like, how do I get in this club?
And the women breaking through right now.
Olivia Rodrigo. This chick rocks.
Hosted by Cheryl Crow. Women of Rock. Now for a limited time on Channel 79 and year-round on the all-new Sirius XM app.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions like mental enrollment and housing. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare.
It's sad day.
I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Time of America to rise up and show how we're the reason why we're the greatest country. Help those involved pray and start the recovery efforts and rebuilding efforts.
From our industry-leading address-to-address mileage to our annual profit-sharing contributions, we appreciate and reward the hard work of our drivers. To learn more about Rail, give us a call at 715-591-7050 or visit rail.jobs.
Tired of battling black and green stains on the exterior of your home? Break free.
Also, prayers to Hensley's family. He said earlier he suffered a stroke. Larry said he just found out that Hensley passed away. Rest in peace to him. Praise to his family.
Toxic media to your kids' lives, teachers. President Trump is not being treated fairly. That's why my team created a Kids Guide to President Trump. It teaches kids all about his accomplishments It's just so much better. It's like a puppy and it's unbelievable. I'm so confident. Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee. Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of delicious beef liver treats. Go to drmartypets.com/Fox or text FOX 511. Fantastic results we're seeing. Arrow can absolutely regrow your hair by nourishing the scalp and repairing dormant and damaged hair follicles. Made for men and women in all hair types, Hair with 17 botanical plant actives is proven safe and effective in generating new hair growth. Whether it's a receding hairline, the crown of the head, or thinning hair, we're a natural solution to regrow bigger, healthier hair. Go to greatlifenow.com. See how you can get a free bottle of Hair today. That's greatlifenow.com. greatlifenow.com. Exclusively on Fox Nation, it's time for as delightful pair of defendants as you'll ever see. Justice. All part of Fox Justice. Sign up now and get your first year of Fox Nation for $29.99.
Fox News alert for anyone just now joining us. Right now, an active search is on for 7 people. More important, the number is moving, they say, after the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge outside of Baltimore. We're expecting an update in the next hour from local officials.
Griff Jenkins joins us live from the scene. Griff, great coverage so far, trying to gather what is known, and so little is being metered out by the authorities, except there was one bit of good news, and that is that they were able to pick 2 people out of the water. That's right, Steve, and we're about 7 hours now since this event happened at 1:30 when the Singapore flagship hit the bridge and collapsed. You can see the remnants of the bridge behind me here. We're just about 1,000 meters north of it, one of the 3 major ways through Baltimore in the harbor. Obviously, this one shut down. We learned from a press conference earlier from the Maryland Transportation Secretary, all ocean vessels have been stopped going in and out of the Port Authority. The updates we've really seen just in the last half hour is we now know that Maryland Governor Wes Moore has gone and seen the damage. We expect we may see him at a press conference in the next hour or so and get an update from him. And we're also learning that the Maritime Port Authority of Singapore, which oversaw this shipping container, is cooperating with U.S. officials, with the Coast Guard. We understand that there are 22 aboard that ship. Their conditions and locations not known. But yes, you look at this sort of mass casualty event, obviously the first and foremost immediate concern, the acute phase, if you will, is that search and rescue continue throughout the morning in very difficult elements and conditions. We know that there are vehicles in the Patapsco River. That is the waterway that this bridge crossed, leading from the Chesapeake Bay into Baltimore's harbor. It's about 50 feet deep, and I talked off camera to some of the authorities and asked them about what would be the process to get those vehicles out. And we know there's dive teams down there, presumably trying to see if they can rescue anyone in the cars. It'll take some significant equipment to get those cars from the water, but it is not only the vehicles that may have been on the bridge at the time of the collapse, but also some of these unaccounted for individuals are believed to possibly be construction workers that were working on the bridge in routine overnight repairs, doing concrete repair. Unclear exactly how many we're looking for. The number 7 has been given, but authorities caution us that could fluctuate and change. The good news, as you mentioned, 2 came out. 1 was okay. The other in serious condition, taken to a trauma center for treatment. But the larger, aside from the acute search and rescue mission, will be the long-term questions and answers about how this could have happened. Authorities said initially they couldn't confirm, but initially it didn't appear it had a tugboat moving a ship of this nature around. They don't navigate very easily. As you talked earlier, it takes quite turn these ships around. And so the communications between this ship and Baltimore's harbor may tell us a lot in terms of answering what went wrong, how this happened. The most important question I was able to ask the Transportation Secretary of Maryland was, can you rule out that there was any foul play or that this was intentional? He said, so far, nothing in this investigation has suspected any foul play or any intentional. So it looks like this is pointing towards some sort of maritime accident, but how and why it happened is going to be the long-term question that they're going to have to answer. And what is one of the busiest shipping commerce routes in the nation, Baltimore, dealing with billions upon billions of dollars of commerce.
Right. And as we look at the container ship right there, we don't see any tugboats. So according to Lucas Thomason, our colleague at the Pentagon, who used to drive big ships for the U.S. Navy, he says, regarding tugs, they would not have been that far from the pier. The tugs are to get you off the pier like the tractor that pushes the airline away from the gate. And Brian had mentioned earlier that you could see some black smoke.
A lot of
Be
it.
a sign of a fire aboard the cruise ship, which could cause it to lose power. Because, Griff, as we've been talking a little bit about, the lights are out, the lights come on, the lights are out.
Yeah.
Something on board that ship went haywire.
You can see it. Well, let's check in with senior meteorologist Janice Dean on the conditions for the crash. Conditions were perfect in terms of visibility, 10 miles. We didn't have a lot of cloud cover in the area. The temperatures obviously were cold. We do have a storm system that's going to move in within the next 24 hours. I'm concerned for rescue workers that are going to be ongoing at this point in the situation as we go through the next couple of days. That storm is going to impact the area. But here are the weather conditions at 1 a.m. when we had the crash. This is the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Temperatures around 39. We had calm winds around 3 miles per hour. That's not going to be a factor. And visibility was really good. When they do the after action review, they're going to look at the weather and say this was not a factor at all. Water temperature around 48 degrees. But of course, for the people that were in the water, this is the concern here. When you reach 40 to 50 degree water and you're submersed in it for 30 to 60 minutes, you really only have a survival time of 1 to 3 hours. Your heart shuts down, your organs, and your nervous system. This is what happens with hypothermia. So I'm concerned with obviously the rescue crews, and the folks that were in the water for a great length of time. Let's take a look at the current conditions for the next 6 hours for the rescue crews on the scene. Conditions are good, but again, we are watching that storm.
What's up, Jeremy? What's up?
It's going to move in within the next 24 to 48 hours. The good news is the weather was not affecting this at all. We will see the potential for impact of weather conditions going on in 48 hours.
All right, Janice, thank you so much. All right, 26 minutes out.
Oh, so you say Hensley's not dead? I don't know. I just heard he had a stroke earlier. Then Larry said that he heard he died. So I don't know. Wait for more people to confirm what's going on. Hope he's all right. So. But yeah, the day's starting off as a tragedy.
ProstateSecrets.com. That's ProstateSecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery. 5 important things to do to protect your prostate and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to ProstateSecrets.com. ProstateSecrets.com. That's ProstateSecrets.com.
Hi, it's Sherry Harris, owner of Life Source Water. Did you know cities use chlorine to disinfect water? Chlorine is for swimming pools, not drinking bathing. At Life Source, we build, install, and stand behind every single system. And for our 40th anniversary, new customers get a free applicator worth over $900. Call us at 1-800-WATER-99 or visit LifeSourceWater.com. Offer is opportunity.
Cash flow is king in real estate. The single family
Invest in high cash flow real estate without all the hassle real property investors face. The RV industry has exploded to $114 billion. With RV rentals up 650%, now is the perfect time to invest. Intelligent investors are moving more money out of single-family homes and into RV parks. How can you get into this cash cow industry? Talk to RVResourceUSA.com. Qualified investors are looking at projected ROIs of 15 to 20%, paid quarterly with ownership of the property. It's a real estate investor's dream. And now your IRA funds may be eligible for tax savings up to 50%. To learn more, visit RVResourceUSA.com. That's RVResourceUSA.com. Or call 888-978-2267. 888-978-2267. Visit RVResourceUSA.com. That's RVResourceUSA.com. Individual results may vary. Tax performance is not guaranteed. Results of these statements are reviewed by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
These three words make you cringe. Calcium oxalate stones. If so, then this message will be a huge deal because now there's a kidney health supplement that has shown in laboratory tests to reduce the rate of calcium oxalate crystal growth by 99%. That's right, 99%. It's called KidneyCom, calcium oxalate protector, and nothing else comes close to its success. In fact, it has a 100% satisfaction guarantee. KidneyCom is so innovative, it's been approved in 5 U.S. patents. It's recommended by doctors and pharmacists and is winning great reviews from people all over the country. You could be one of them. KidneyCom is super affordable. You can purchase affordable KidneyCom today by visiting Amazon.com, Walmart.com, or KidneyCom.com. If you cringe when you hear the words calcium oxalate and you worry about reoccurrence, then you need KidneyCom right away. Purchase KidneyCom today at Amazon.com, Walmart.com, or KidneyCom.com.
Hello, beautiful. I'm Amy Aaron, founder of Madison Reed, a hair color company I named after my daughter. Spring is in the air. It's time to step into spring with confidence. We want to help you start the season feeling like the most beautiful and unstoppable version of yourself. So join over 5 million women who trust in Madison Reed to help them look and feel their absolute best. It's gorgeous, salon quality hair color, 100% gray coverage. Plus, it's ammonia-free, cruelty-free, and rich with ingredients you can feel good about. We promise you will love your results through your money-back guarantee. That's right, guaranteed. Visit Madison-Reed.com/love. That's Madison-Reed.com/love. And exciting news, it's now easier than ever to find your perfect shade. Madison Reed is now available at select Walmart stores nationwide. Try it, love it. That's the beauty of Madison Reed.
Hi, I'm Joe Perlin from JoePerlin.com. We know many of you are searching for just that right pre-owned luxury vehicle. That's why I want to tell you about JoePerlin.com. At JoePerlin.com, you can browse our huge selection of curated luxury vehicles. JoePerlin.com is based in Chicago, but we ship cars all over the country. Check out JoePerlin.com. That's Joe Perillo, Perillil, or now 312 BMW 1111. That's 312 BMW 1111. 312 BMW 1111.
Tackling relations issues from every angle. Don't miss the April Angle, weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox News Channel.
20 minutes to put the top of the now, and it's a Fox News alert. Radio and active search is existing, and search and rescue is on for 7 people after the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge outside of Baltimore. Our next guest says there is no good reason for the ship to have hit where it did. Charlie Pereira is a former NTSB Marine accident investigator and joins us right now. Charlie, good morning to you.
Morning, guys.
I know we haven't heard from the officials. I'm sure they've talked to the pilots who were driving the boat at the time. What does it look like to you went wrong?
Well, obviously, a ship should not be impinging upon structural supports for a bridge, so the navigation and control of the ship was erroneous, and it could be a combination of factors or individual factors. It could be simply human error on the navigation by the crew. It could be a combination of loss of control or navigational system failures. Back in the 1990s, we had a cruise ship, the Royal Majesty, have a bad GPS signal connection, and the navigation systems indicated they were in one place while the boat was actually in another, and that resulted in that cruise ship grounding. And something like that could have occurred on the ship. They could have lost control of their rudder and steering and not been able to avoid the impact. There's a variety of factors that could have come into play. The NTSB and the Coast Guard will be getting to work to determine that. There should be a voyage data recorder on board this craft, which records data like the flight data recorder on an airplane, as well as crew communications voices up on the bridge of the vessel. So NTSB will be getting those data by the end of today.
Ryan Sims, I know, right? It's coming. We all been thinking it. Hell, we all been thinking it, including me. Talk about rocking the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat. Don't tip the boat over. Rock the boat. But yeah, you know it. They probably done memeing up now.
That's not a good indication. There could have been some kind of a power problem that resulted in inability to control the vessel. If you lost all power and it's some form of a power steering system, then obviously that would prevent you from being able to properly control. You can see a pretty significant turn at the end there. Maybe once they got the power back on, the right rudder was able to be input, but it was too late. He's already headed for the column there. So,
Swift. Oh gosh. But yeah, Swift will get blamed for it. Yeah, my cousin just texted me and let me know that on her brother, okay. Yeah. Her brother, my big cousin, he live in Baltimore.
Reduce all the way. In other words, come to a stop if you lose power. But they also could have lost control of the
Yeah, she said he's all right. Talk to him.
if that were to have occurred as well. There's a number of issues that the NTSB and the Coast Guard will be looking into. They also need to do something, I thought this morning, about providing collision warnings for vehicles that are transiting these bridges. With today's technology, they should be able to put radar type detectors on the bridge structure itself to detect if there's going to be any ship collision and break down some crossbucks, kind of like they do on railroads when there's a train. It's time for the NTSB to call for industry to look into developing those types of systems that would automatically break down crossbucks if there was a collision impending that was detected, and try to prevent any further vehicles from getting on the bridge structure from that point on.
Charlie, it's really jarring to watch this video. You see two semis cross, and you think, gosh, if they would have just been seconds earlier, if they would have caught that red light, it could have been that driver. It's heartbreaking. But what you're just saying about these radar detectors, how many
scary,
bridges that you're aware of in the country have this? Do we need some sort of new regulation? Because it seems like it could save a lot of lives if the pilot communicated with someone who then sent out an alert to these cars.
I'm not aware of any such systems. There are some bridges that have, swing bridges and raised bridges and stuff like that have actively manned. But a fixed bridge like this, where the bridge is supposed to be high enough to clear all crossing traffic underneath, they wouldn't have any permanently manned situations like that. But the idea that I had is just simply that. It's an engineering idea that I had, like many others that I had while I was at the board. In this case, we have the technology nowadays to put radar type detectors on these bridges that are fully aware of the geometry of the bridge, and they're able to detect oncoming ships and predict based on the motion of that target whether or not it's going to impinge any of the bridge support structures like this, and in fact could have provided potentially at least a minute or two or more of warning to bring the crossbucks down and allow those vehicles that are running 55 to 70 miles an hour on that bridge to go ahead and clear the bridge and not allow any more traffic on the bridge until that warning sense condition has been eliminated.
Great idea.
Charlie Pereira, sir, thank you very much for joining us live.
Thanks, Charlie. So we're staying on top of this bridge collapse.
I mean, I don't know what you can do unless you build some type of buffer a little bit wild ways out from the support structure. Because I mean, you know that the key bridge is high enough. You don't have to worry about it topping the bridge. But those beams, I don't know if you can like build. I know they got they talked about it when they rebuilt the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. They got something called support dolphins or some shit. The structure dolphins, like a little barrier, but maybe build one further out.
Black and green stains on the exterior of your home. Break free with When You Forget. This bleach-free.
Or as any trucker would say, put a bunch of Jersey barriers in the lanes to keep the shipping between. Who knows? Jersey barriers. But shit, this is a disaster, catastrophic. I am. You sure ain't.
Right now, get it for free. To order, visit kidstrunkbook.com. That's kidstrunkbook.com. Visit kidstrunkbook.com now. Rayford and Kitchen Wows. Cabinets to go with showrooms nationwide can take you from design to wow in a flash. Cabinets to go has the top designs, newest features that are backed by a transferable lifetime warranty in stock and ready to go. All at incredible prices. Join over 250,000 happy customers and visit your local Cabinets to Go or cabinetstogo.com and get your free 3D design. Now on sale.
What's up, Pooch? You blame Joe Biden. Tell me why. I don't think Biden had nothing to do with this. It's just a clusterfuck. But we blame Biden on a lot of shit. I don't think we can blame it on this. Blame him on this. I know he need to get his ass up and at least make a statement. He done been briefed by it. He done been briefed on it by now. Well, you need to release a statement or something.
My methods are changing thousands of lives, and I'm confident you can change yours. But let the proof do the talking by going to accountproof.com. That's accountproof.com. You'll see a 7-minute video revealing how my MoneyPress method grew a $54,000 account to $174,000 in less than
Sleepy Joe did it. Oh gosh, Pooch.
5.8% per week. You'll see the proof right inside my real brokerage account. This isn't about overnight riches, but once you discover this for yourself, you can start at the same path.
He's taking a nap right now. He'll probably did get his ass up.
About trading and investing. Go to accountproof.com to get started. That's accountproof.com.
Hell, he right down the road in DC. Take Marine One and hop his ass up there. You him and Kamala supposed to go to North Carolina to campaign. Jump that ass on Marine One and fly your ass up there to Baltimore.
Which is way less than what you'd be quoted elsewhere. When it comes to term life insurance, no company can match Lifeboat's expertise in finding you the right policy at the right price. For your free quote and to find out how much.
Don't need a motorcade. Hell, on a normal day, traffic fucked up. It's gonna be catastrophic right now. Oh my gosh. Pooch, I know they say he had a stroke, but Larry the Cat said he died, but Jeremy Griggs said he isn't dead. So I don't know yet. I'm still waiting for more people to confirm.
And I'm Catherine. We're part of the Blendjet team and husband and wife. If you're one of the 5 million people who use the Blendjet portable blender, thank you. A few years ago, I had a freak accident.
Yeah, I want to make sure we get further confirmation on him.
By making it easy to enjoy perfectly blended smoothies and protein shakes anytime, anywhere.
The Blendjet 2 portable blender is powerful, USB rechargeable, cleans itself, and comes in over 30 colors.
Get yours now on blendjet.com.
You're listening to Fox News Channel on Sirius XM Channel 114.
Experts who can lend us some answers. We'll talk to all of them and we'll map it out to get an idea of how we're piecing this together. It's a breaking news day, breaking news story. Join me in news of Wicked News coverage.
I don't know what is wrong with everybody. They don't want to drive today. Must be.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Oh,
we're going to
this
get back to that
one.
breaking news of the breach
Nesbitt
last night
confirmed it.
in
Okay,
just a
yeah.
moment. But first, some other big news to get to, beginning with a
I'm
Fox
sorry
News
to hear that. Rest in peace,
NYPD mourning
Hensley.
the death of an officer who was shot during a
Prayers
traffic
to his
stop last
family.
night in Queens. Authorities say 31-year-old officer Jonathan Diller was struck in the torso below his bulletproof vest. He leaves behind a wife and
Oh
one-year-old
man, rest in
child.
peace of that
The
officer
suspected
who was
shooter
killed
is a career
in New
criminal
York.
with
Rest in
21
peace.
prior arrests, including on gun and assault charges. Charges related to last night's deadly shooting have not yet been announced. To another alert, a New York City man is dead after being hit by a subway train yesterday in Harlem. The victim has not yet been identified, but was pushed onto the tracks, and the train was unable to stop in time. This comes after Governor Kathy Hochul deployed the National Guard and state police to patrol the subways. Officials say the victim was shoved by a mentally disturbed person who was already out on bond.
What the hell is going on with people pushing people off the subway? Larry June starting a fundraiser. The Hensley family. I'll donate to it when I get a chance. I'll donate to it.
A Moscow City court once again extending the pretrial detention of Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich. This Friday marks 1 year since the American reporter was detained on espionage charges. He is accused of trying to obtain defense secrets while working in Moscow, an allegation that Gershkovich, the United States, and the Wall Street Journal all deny. He faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted. The U.S. ambassador to Russia says the case shows American citizens are being used as pawns by the Kremlin. Former President Trump set to pay a much smaller bond in his New York City civil fraud case after an appeals court judge cut it by more than half. That original $454 million judgment being slashed down to $175 million bucks.
It's looking like that, Pooch. No subways and no bridges, but shit, we'll be down. We'll be fucked up if we can't use any of them. It's some serious times going on right now, bro.
Two homes belonging to rapper Sean Diddy Combs as part of a sex trafficking investigation. Two of his sons, Justin and Kate Combs, can be seen in handcuffs. It's still unclear if they've been taken into custody. This video shows, courtesy of TMZ, shows Diddy at the Miami airport just hours after the raid. A flight data shows his private jet touching down in the Caribbean yesterday morning. He denies all of the allegations against him. And right now, protesters are gathering outside the Supreme Court at 10 a.m. to justify
Flying bitches in and out from different states. Just the fuck can be considered a sex traffic. Right. Yeah, they said that he was live earlier. But things changed so quick.
Medical associations who oppose abortion say they are unlawfully relaxing rules around the pill's use. The High Court will decide whether the pill will be available nationwide. And those are your headlines, guys. Back over to you.
Thank you very much, Charlie. Those are only the stories that were happening. We've got this mammoth story over in Baltimore, and we will cover it throughout the day. And back to that story. The active search is going on for 7 people at least after the collapse of the Key Bridge outside Baltimore. We are expecting an update in about 45 minutes.
9:30 a.m. We'll get that update. Greg Payne from our station in Philadelphia joins us now from the scene. Greg.
Yeah, so right now everybody is kind of moving a little bit closer because they're expecting the governor of Maryland to be holding a press conference in just a little bit. But I mean, the first thing that I want to mention is the good news that we heard out of the 2 press conferences this morning. And that's the fact that 2 people have been rescued. Now, we'll talk a little bit about their conditions a little bit later, but I'm giving you a look right here. It looks like that press conference looks like they're trying to get ready for that, but I just want to show you the cargo ship that is there. That is the cargo ship that we've all been talking about, and you can see off to the left just the amount of damage that it had caused. Now take a look at this video showing the moment the ship hit the bridge, causing it to collapse. Officials said this was around 1:30 in the morning. And authorities trying to rescue at least 7 people. Now the 2 people we previously talked about were rescued. One was uninjured and denied medical help. The other was at a trauma center in serious condition. They are reporting there was multiple vehicles on the bridge at the time, including one the size of a tractor trailer. Officials say sonar has detected multiple vehicles in the water, and that they are relying on the divers to determine if the situation is unsurvivable. But for right now, the focus is still a search and rescue. And we are told, along with drivers on the bridge, construction crews are on the bridge doing concrete work. Officials are currently talking with the crew members from the ship, and for right now, water traffic through the area is suspended. Now, the FBI is here, which they say this is standard for situations like this to determine if there was the act of terrorism in this situation. But as I mentioned to you guys during these press conferences, the main thing that they kept mentioning over and over is this is still a search and rescue at this point in time.
It is indeed. Greg, thank you very much for the live report. Great job.
Yeah. Let's bring in Mike Cofield, retired pilot and aviation expert. He helped investigate the cargo ship stuck in Suez Canal in 2021. You know, currently, we know Maryland State Police, Baltimore County Police, Coast Guard, all in the air, and FAA has suspended air traffic to allow for this search and rescue operation.
Exactly. I think some of the things too, you know, look at it. First of all, condolences from Camp Cargo and our team. We've worked extensively globally with the TSB and here in the United States and internationally. One thing that's going to happen initially is that there's going to be jurisdiction issues immediately between the state and the federal government. TSB technically owns the operation this morning. They had what's called go teams on standby around the United States of experts from the NTSB. They're put on U.S. aircraft and brought immediately to Baltimore, the ones that are in the Washington metro area. So that go team's already on the scene. They're going to be negotiating based on authority and jurisdiction. They're going to be having a fight with the FBI and with the local authorities, but they're all concentrating on saving lives and rescuing folks, and then creating an environment where this never happens again.
Captain, could you give me an idea? Is it standard for tugboats to do things like this that the pilots were doing themselves, bringing ships like this in and out?
Right, great question. That's a good question. Yeah, absolutely. So what happens is these harbor pilots, they go through, just like aviation pilots, they go through rigorous annual simulator instruction and simulator emergencies, and also live in the ships. So there would have been a harbor pilot and or two this morning, especially in the middle of the night like this, and then it's very narrow through there. And as we heard earlier, the length of time it takes for a ship of this length and weight to stop and move in a different direction. So those harbor pilots who have been on board, that it's not unusual to not have a tugboat at this point as they exit out of the harbor into the streams to head out of the Atlantic. And these harbor pilots, just quite frankly, probably have not spoken with the authorities. It'd be my guess that the unions advised them to come, and the union actually interrogates them first with the attorneys, and then sets up the protocol for the conversation between the harbor pilots and the agencies.
Interesting stuff. All right, Captain, thank you very much. That's interesting. They probably haven't spoken to the investigators yet. The people who are actually at the wheel. I wonder if they lawyer up.
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
from the incident that happened at 1:30 a.m.?
Prayers to Baltimore.
Just continue. You're in Fox.
This is a unthinkable tragedy. We have to first and foremost pray for all of those who are impacted, those families. Pray for our first responders and thank them, all of them working together.
I think that folks are stunned. I think folks are reeling. And I think that's particularly true for people who are worried about their loved ones right now.
So we have a lot to deal with at this hour. 9 o'clock here in New York City, 9 o'clock in Baltimore, watching this catastrophic situation there. A container ship crashing into the Francis Scott Key Bridge. It collapsed in moments, as you see, middle of the night. Crews are scouring the waters for the possibility of survivors. The water is very cold. We've got our news conference coming up in 30 minutes, so we will follow every twist and turn, unfortunately, on this story today. Good morning, everybody. Tuesday morning in New York, and I'm Bill Hemmer, and welcome to our on-demand coverage here.
Horrible news to wake up to. I'm Dana Perino, and this is
Welcome to
America's News.
Metropolitan Nashville,
The collision happened at 1:40
Davidson County, home of the Grand Ole Opry.
Search and rescue. Fire officials say there are upwards of 7 people in the water. Crews have rescued 2 people, and it is not clear at this time if they are part of the 7.
So we have been told that dive teams are braving dangerous conditions, and that includes that frigid water, maybe 50 degrees or less.
Cockhead, don't start that shit, cockhead.
Now you've got wreckage that is hanging from that bridge at this hour.
Mike Sorelli is a retired Navy SEAL with underwater rescue experience. He will join us in a moment, but first, let's go to Griff Jenkins. He's live on the scene.
The flame blocked.
Hey, Dana and Bill, good morning. And it's been more than 7 hours now since this incident happened around 1:30 a.m. This nearly 1,000-foot-long cargo ship from Singapore flag called the Dali hit a main structure of the Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Go in Zello and go get him, cockhead.
So just north of where that bridge is. Let me just show you. You can see Bill and Dana what's left.
Don't be a cock. Don't be a
the
dickhead.
span collapsing, but you can see a bit of the bridge sticking up there. Now, right now, there's 2 phases of this, guys. You have the acute search and
Motherfucker.
rescue that's underway with local and federal authorities. You've got the Coast Guard out here, 3 boats in the water, as well as a cutter. You may hear the helicopter overhead. That also part of this. Then there is the long-term phase, and that is how and why this could have happened in one of the busiest shipping thoroughfares in the country, with one of the nation's largest ports. But on the search and rescue, that's what everyone is focusing on right now, because
I don't know. I've been hearing different things. I heard he had a stroke. He went live in the hospital. And I heard he died. And I heard he's not dead. I don't know for sure. I hope he is it. I don't see nobody die.
And we know that there are vehicles in this Patapsco River, which is the waterway that leads from Chesapeake Bay into Baltimore's harbor. We know there are vehicles in the water, but there are also construction workers doing routine overnight concrete repair on the bridge. We're hoping to get an
But they said Nesbitt confirmed it, and Larry June doing a fundraiser for Hensley's family.
He's going to hold that press conference, lead that press conference just a few feet from where I'm standing. We may get some updates. We've learned also on the larger picture of this that Singapore's Maritime Port Authority that oversees this ship is in contact with our U.S. officials and Coast Guard, trying to put the pieces together in a puzzle of how this possibly happened. We did have a press conference here an hour or so ago where I asked Maryland's Secretary of Transportation about whether or not this could involve foul play. Here's what he said. Listen here. And are you ruling out any kind of intentional motive? We don't see anything that
Trucker Todd doing a GoFundMe too for him. Okay.
But there's nothing that posts that in any direction.
All right. Or is he doing one for himself? Because I heard he had a stroke too. I'll check it out. I'll donate when I get a chance.
It's going to be quite complex, and they tell us the investigation is going to take some time because you're talking about a very large ship that has to be very significant navigation through these waterways, where it's unclear whether or not it was being piloted, had a tugboat or assistance at this part of it. But right now, it's all hands on deck trying to save lives. And in the conditions out here, Bill and Dana, it's cold. It was in the 30s when we got here on scene overnight. The water temperature believed to be about 48 degrees. In an individual in a river at 48 degrees with the air temperature in the 30s, you're talking about hypothermia kicking in anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. Now we're 7 hours into this, so we're waiting to get more answers, find out how the search and
Traffic gotta get out my way. I gotta use the restroom.
to what is Baltimore's
Even though I do have a Tedford curb, but I don't want to pull over the shoulder and use it right now.
Griff Jenkins, we had that press conference coming up at 9:30 a.m. So thank you. We'll be in touch.
So that's just a remarkable shot there, wasn't it? When it went in untied on the containers, it was just sitting there.
Oh gosh, cockhead, cut it out.
On top of the other, on top of the other. That ship is loaded. Mike Sorelli is with us, retired Navy SEAL, underwater rescue experience. And Mike, welcome to our coverage here, and good morning to you. We are told the ports or the harbor is about 50 feet deep. But this area where the structure of this bridge is sticking out of the water, it appears to be perhaps more shallow than that. In your experience, how well can you see underwater in conditions like this?
will build, underneath the bridge, it's most likely dredged for ships of this size to easily pass through with their drift. So at 50 feet, visibility is minutes. That's if you have an air pocket.
chief of staff. And it was, we know the Key Bridge. I've ridden over the Key Bridge countless times. So many of us know the Key Bridge because it is our normal commute. This is a place that is a normal commute route for over 30,000 Marylanders every single day. And so to hear the words that the Key Bridge has collapsed, it's shocking and heartbreaking. And immediately, the first thought and the first ideas go back to what happened to the people, what was the impact on human life. But for every single one of us who are Marylanders, the words that the Key Bridge is gone, it still shakes us, because for 47 years, that's all we've known. And so this is not just unprecedented from what we're seeing and what we're looking at today. It's heartbreaking.
Governor, do you confirm that the crew on the ship alerted authorities that it lost propulsion and was in trouble?
We can confirm that the crew notified authorities of a power issue. Yes.
And that they had lost power on the ship.
Yes.
Maybe we'll take the question in your church.
A total of 8. One rescued in the hospital. One not in hospital, but it is, we've communicated with that person. And then 6 that we are searching for.
And all the search workers working on the bubble? With all 8 of them?
Yes, they were all related to the construction program. Yes.
We heard that multiple vehicles went into the water. Any word on how many vehicles went into the water and the condition of those people that were?
Not at this time.
I have motion over here. Was there any way to shut down the bridge? Was there enough time for that distress call to trigger something like that?
Now, the thing that we know is that even as the boat was coming in, we had a ship that was coming in at 8 knots, so coming in at a very rapid speed. We do know that the investigation is currently going on, but I have to say I'm thankful for the folks who once the warning came up and once notification came up that there was a mayday, who literally by being able to stop cars from coming over the bridge, these people are heroes. They saved lives last night.
Right,
Governor, the focus is on rescuing not only humanity, but looking forward, is there any vision for how long it can possibly take for the wreckage to rebuild, how it can possibly be done? Can you look into the future at all at this point?
This is going to be a long-term build. It's going to be a build that's going to require every facet and every aspect of our society. It is something that I can tell you, we are going to get this done. We are going to make sure that this is not just rebuilt, but that we are going to rebuild in a way that remembers the people who this tragedy has impacted, and also do it in a way that honors the community that it serves. But right now, I could not give you any thorough estimate on timing or cost. Right now, my and all of our exclusive focus is we're just trying to save lives.
Can the mayor talk on the state of emergency locally, please?
Yes, thank you. Listen, we know the governor issued a state of emergency. Well, we at the local level felt the need to do that too, because there may be some things that we have to encumber with our fire department and other agencies that we'll be able to pull down support for as we all work together again, as we focus right now on saving lives and working through this unspeakable tragedy.
In the interim, I know that there's obviously the focus is on the rescue and the recovery, but this is such an important thoroughfare here all along. For drivers, people trying to get around, how are they going to be able to manage while that is also going on?
Yeah, so we've also already been in touch with people about alternative routes and ways people can navigate now this tragedy has happened. I don't know, Secretary, if you want to speak to that as well.
Just to give you a sense of scale, roughly about 35,000 people, a day use that facility, about double that use the Harbor Tunnel, and double that again use the Fort McHenry Tunnel. So basically, we got to have those two other options. We'll make sure that we have as much personnel out there to deal with any incidents, because as you know, that can cause backups very quickly. And we will basically put out a lot of communication on different alternatives. We're also looking at transit alternatives as well.
What role will the legislature play in this response? What role will the legislature play in this response? Are there any policies that need to be implemented?
Oh yeah, no. So we are, in fact, we have our Senate President here. We have members of the legislature here. The legislature is going to have a role in all of this, as will our local elected officials, as will state officials, as will the federal government. Everybody is going to have a role in terms of how we think about the rebuild.
Governor, how long do you expect shipping to be closed down? Or do you have any estimate in terms of the work here?
We don't at this point. We don't at this point.
They're going in or out at this time.
Correct. Yeah, we don't have an estimate on timeline as of yet. Our focus really is right now on just make sure we're saving lives.
One last question. Did that person die in the hospital? Are they able to get out at all?
I'm sorry, say it again.
The ships the vessels that are currently docked at the port, are they able to get out or no?
The one that's captured under the is that
still at port?
Oh yes, that one's still at port. Yes.
We'll take one last question. Was the ship being guided out by tugs, firstly? And secondly, did you just say that it issued a mayday in enough time that you were able to stop
I like that
all
British
traffic
accent.
from entering both sides, so that the only casualties we expect are the workers on the bridge?
Yes, ma'am. So the investigation is still going on. So we're going to have all the full details and also all the full details about the timeline and the TikTok that took place. But we're thankful that between the Mayday and the collapse that we had officials who were able to more hard.
Or not? Were there any
during the collapse?
Yeah, were there some on the bridge? There's been reports that have been sonar that have detected vehicles at the bottom of the water. So as well as the 8 people, there could still be people trapped inside or potentially have died in vehicles. Is that correct?
I think, the investigation is still going on to find out exactly how many people in what situation. But the thing that we do know is that many of the vehicles were stopped before they got onto the bridge, which saved lives in a very, very heroic way.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Cecil. We don't know how you did it.
On time.
Thank you all.
So a couple tantalizing details revealed in that press conference from the governor. Quote, "We can confirm that the crew notified authorities of power issues on board that ship," which would lend more credence to the theory that this thing was listing without control and just hit that pylon. The second thing is what the transportation secretary said about the construction workers. One went home, refused treatment. One went to the hospital. 6 are missing, all doing pothole repair work on the bridge at the time. What remains outstanding, it appears, and maybe with clarification from Griff and Grady down there, is how many vehicles were on the bridge at the time of the collapse. That answer seems to be outstanding at the moment. Would you agree?
Very much so, because it seems like, and also that they were trying to evade the question and avoid the question. And now the governor, when asked a second or third time, he said, the investigation is ongoing. So we do not know if there are cars that are unaccounted for, if there are additional people beyond the 6 who are unaccounted for. And so let's get to Griff Jenkins, because did you hear that the way we did?
Yeah, I did, Dana. And if you could hear my question, I specifically put that question to the governor. He deflected early on in that press conference to Paul Wiedefeld, who is Maryland's Secretary of Transportation. I said, in addition, there's 6 unaccounted for they're looking for. 2 people came out, 1 had to be rescued, the other one was fine. So we're talking about a total of 8 people they were considering. The 6 are unaccounted for, 1 had to go to the hospital. I said, but what about cars and people that may be in the water? And he said, no, that we don't believe there are any. I said, you don't believe that there are people in the car? That's different than the information we were hearing earlier, but it doesn't appear at this point that this search and rescue mission in the governor's Team Maryland, as he called it, is under the assumption that there are people in cars that need to be rescued. And they highlighted in that press conference what they called heroic measures. Once the Mayday call went out, they coordinated with Maryland Department of Transportation Authority to stop cars from coming across that bridge. We also learned a little bit of details that the workers that likely went into the water were actually up on the bridge working on potholes. Now, if that's the case, Dana, you're talking about a more than 150-foot drop into frigid, cold, 48-degree water. And so that is an obviously very difficult scenario to survive in and of itself. But right now, to your point, the officials here have left me with the impression that there aren't cars in the water and that there's no one in cars that they're trying to rescue. We do know at this moment, right now as we speak, there are rescue divers in the water, and of course the Coast Guard boats on the water and the Coast Guard in the helicopter above. But a very interesting development here, and obviously no announcement, Bill, of any fatalities, but again, they're looking for at least 6 they believe unaccounted for.
Right. I would just add that either the people in their cars got very, very lucky, or they don't know what the answer is at the moment. Griff, thank you. Dr. Mark Siegel with us, Fox News contributor. Sir, we understand, Doc, that it's 185 feet drop from the bridge to the water. The water is about 50 feet deep. And the water temperature could have been 49, 50 degrees, Doc. And everyone knows when you go into a cold ocean, 50 degrees is almost impenetrable.
Let me give you the facts as I know them, Bill. I understand the water today is 45 degrees. You said 185-foot drop. It's probably variable from one place to another, but for the viewers, if you fall 20 feet into water, it's almost like hitting something hard, like concrete. You're going to get a fracture at 20 feet. 185 feet is generally assumed to be uniformly fatal. So the person that survived, that's in critical condition, 3 days freezing water, that's unbelievable that somebody survived that fall. The other thing that you need to know is when you're in freezing water, the water is extracting heat from your body. So you might hear 45 degrees and say, well, that's not freezing. Well, but it's 25 times more than if you were in the air. That's how much heat is extracted from your body. They get you into the hospital, and if you're surviving, they use warm intravenous, they heat it, they use blankets, they try to get your core temperature back up. We don't know what's going to happen to that person that survived. Someone walked away from this, which is truly unbelievable. Now, you heard from the Navy SEALs before, that incredible Navy SEAL you had on set. You know, he was saying to you, there's nobody better in the world at rescue in the water than the Navy SEALs. Nobody. And he, I don't think, was optimistic at this point because, you know, if you're trapped inside a car, for another thing, your oxygen is going to run out, right? And then again, there's the trauma of the fall, fractures, and the hypothermia.
Dr. Mark Siegel, thank
And
you
this
so
is
much.
tragic,
Stand
bro.
by.
This
We
is
want to get to
tragic
the
for
former
real.
Baltimore Police Commissioner, Daryl D'Souza, and get your take. We haven't.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna come back later on. I'm gonna come back live later on. Please pray for all those involved in this tragic disaster on the Key Bridge. Please pray, help out if you're able to, and also as far as in the trucking community. If Hensley did indeed pass away, rest in peace to him, and pray for his loved ones as well. But I'll be back later on. Everybody, just pray, be thankful for life, and take care. God bless all of y'all. I love y'all. Y'all have a good day. I'll be back later on today.